this conversation in the Quran is actually about a human being making another human being feel guilty, or, if they go far enough, to make them feel ashamed. Now, Fir'aun just challenged Musa alayhi salam back. Musa alayhi salam challenged the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh challenged him back. Didn't we raise you here since you were a baby? How could you talk to me this way? Didn't you spend many years of your life living here? But he didn't stop there. He said, وَفَعَلْتَ فَعْلَتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ. You did that act of yours that you did. Now, what is it that Musa alayhi salam did? Musa alayhi salam tried to intervene when a police officer was beating down on an Israelite civilian, a slave. He was beating him down in the middle of the street, and he intervened, and when he tried to break up the fight, he threw a punch at the cop, and one punch killed the officer. So he actually is charged now with murder. And even if it's accidental, it's involuntary manslaughter, but he did throw a punch. And he was wanted by the cops, he was wanted by the authorities, and he escaped. So he's an escaped convict who is now labeled in that society as a murderer. You understand? Think about that. It's one act. He did one act, and it's a horrifying act. If you think of a list of bad things you could do, I think murder would be pretty up there. فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. Quran even says if you kill a soul, you kill a person, it's as if you kill all of humanity. So it's not a small thing in the Quran. And the great messenger Musa alayhi salam in his youth has now accidentally, or we look at it as accidentally because he didn't intend to kill anyone, but nonetheless, the attack came from his hand, the blow came from his hand, and a life has been lost. And he has escaped, and he's, in the sense, it looks like he never faced the consequences of what he did. And now he comes back, and when he comes back as Allah's messenger, and he comes to confront Fir'aun, it's easy to say, well, wait, you should be talking about what somebody else is doing wrong? How about you? What did you do? Excuse me? Is there no one else that should speak about the moral upper ground? Higher ground? Why do we have to listen to a murderer? You understand? He's putting himself in a very vulnerable position. It's very risky for him to tell anyone what they're doing right and wrong when he himself has this massive skeleton in his closet. You understand? And Allah put in him the courage to go and confront this fear and actually challenge the Pharaoh for the wrong that he's doing. And he told him, you've enslaved an entire nation of Israelites. You can't be doing, and you're not a God. You're not God. So what we learn from here, first and foremost, is just because you've made a mistake in the past, that is not a license for you to be silenced. If there is some truth you have to say, you still have to say it. Even if others will come along and say, who are you to speak truth? Look at what mistakes you made in your past. You have no right to open your mouth. And that's exactly what the Pharaoh now does.